I used to always want to feel special, to have some kind of superpower, an ability. And then one day, my dream almost came true. Hi everyone, I'm Zoe, and I have mechanical organs. Here's my arm, and there's another mechanical organ that you can't see, but it's very important. Do you want to guess what it is? While you're thinking, I'll slowly begin my story. I was about 14 years old at the time. I remember that my grandmother and I went to a neighbor's house for a morning celebration. Her granddaughter was also turning 13. I was so looking forward to that day because we got along well, and my grandmother made her a cake. It had a statuette of her and me on top of it, and I couldn't wait to try it. They dressed me up in a kick-ass dressing gown, put my hair in pigtails, and me and my grandma knocked on the door. I got so excited that when my friend came out, I yelled, "Blow out the candles!" And boom! Darkness. Some time later, I was laughed at by a lot of kids. I was born with a missing limb. My mother, upon learning that her daughter looked like a monster, decided to abandon me in the maternity ward. She ran away from there the same night she gave birth. When my grandmother, her mother, arrived in the morning, she took me in right away, not even thinking for a second about what to do. The search for her daughter was fruitless. So that's how I grew up with the idea that Grandma was my only loving relative. She suffered with me. They made me a prosthetic arm. It wasn't very expensive, and it was made of metal, but it was better than nothing. Still, many children were afraid of me, calling me a Terminator or just an invalid. What, do you think there weren't many of them? No, almost everyone around me was like that. Only my grandma was my reliable friend. One day I went to buy some apples, and Grandma wanted to eat them. So I went to the store. There was a crowd of boys at the entrance. They were shouting and laughing so loudly, I automatically took a couple of steps to get around them, but one of them kicked me in my arm. "Hey, robot, do you feel anything?" I didn't answer. I just put my eyes down and took a step forward, but they blocked my path. "Hey, I'm talking to you. Are you deaf or something? What do you want?" I said, "Do you feel pain?" "I don't want to answer. Give me a break." Oh, look, our invalid girl's voice came out. Let's teach her a lesson to stay quiet. The boys jumped me. One took away my purse with money for the apples, one kicked me in the leg, and the third pulled my prosthetic so that it was removed from my hand. I screamed out in sharp pain, and they began to mock my arm. One was scratching his back, the other was wiping his ass. I sat on the ground and cried. Then the store clerk ran out to us. She yelled at them, and the boys threw out their hands and ran away. The saleswoman helped me get up and took me inside. A girl, Abby, looked out from behind the counter. She helped me wash up and clean in the bathroom, then gave me a milkshake and a muffin for free. "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm used to it." "Those boys are stupid. Don't pay any attention to them. I always see them around here. They don't have money to come into the store, so they just hang around. We called the police, but it doesn't last long. Then they show up again." I just wanted to buy some apples. They took all my money. Abby quietly went somewhere and then brought me the most expensive apples. So that's how our friendship started. From that day until the last moment, we were friends. We never fought. We understood each other all the time, and we were there for each other. I told Abby the reason for the prosthesis. "So you're not in pain?" "No, sometimes my arm hurts because of the heavy metal. I saw on the web that there are newer, lighter ones with a modern design, but they're too expensive." "Let's save up the money." "No, don't even think about it. I'll buy one when I'm rich. But if I do it sooner, it's just as well, right? Here's my $10. Consider it my first deposit." I hugged my friend. It was more than sweet and meaningful to me. I could share everything in the world with her. There were no secrets, except one. One time, she and her mom invited me over to their house for dinner. I ate and watched their relationship and communication. Honestly, I was jealous because my mom had ditched me. But on the other hand, it was nice to see that not everyone does. Abby asked me when her mom left to do the dishes, "Where's your mom? You never talked about her. I figured you were only being raised by your grandmother now, but still. Can I find out where she is?" I could have told the truth, but believe me, I was too ashamed. I lost contact with her. They say she's lost her memory. "Do you have a picture of her?" "No, I don't, unfortunately. It'd be cool to find her, wouldn't it?" "Yeah, I guess so." Come on, miracles happen. Don't be pessimistic. All in all, I wanted to know where she was too. Did she remember me? And then it was all forgotten again. A month later, I was already getting ready for Abby's birthday party. My grandmother and I had baked a cake that I couldn't wait to give my only best friend. Grandma wanted to wish her happy birthday with me. She helped light the candles, and it became such an exciting moment. The first friend I ever had, the first cake I ever gave her. Abby opened the door, I yelled, "Blow out the candles," and I saw a familiar face behind my friend. Mom was standing behind her and waving at me. I must have been too excited and lost consciousness. Later, I woke up at Abby's house. Grandma was gone. She said she had an errand to run, and Mom was holding my hands and crying when I opened my eyes. "What are you doing here?" "Ta-da! Surprise! I spent this whole month looking for her. I knew you'd come to congratulate me, so I wanted to surprise you in return." "Hi, sweetie." I took my hand away and got up from the couch. There was a look of bewilderment on Abby's face. "Zoe, aren't you happy?" "It's okay, Abby. Thank you for everything. I'm gonna go home. I'll call you later." "Wait, but what about your mom? Don't you want to be with her?" "Daughter, let's go together." "You're not coming with me. Go anywhere but my place with Grandma." "Zoe, but you said you wanted to see her, that your mom might have lost her memory." "Well, I managed to find her. She remembered everything, and you in particular. Wouldn't you like to spend time with her?" "No thanks." When I got home, Grandma was crying. She remembered the day I was left behind. I can't imagine how hard and painful it was for Grandma to raise me alone, living only on welfare. I had no idea where my mother was staying, but she started following me everywhere. At home, to the store, and the hospital. At first, I ignored her, but she cried, talking about remorse and wanting a fresh start. Anyway, I couldn't forgive her. One day, Grandma went outside to walk to the store, but after a couple of minutes, I heard the neighbors screaming. My grandmother suddenly started to feel sick, having a seizure similar to epilepsy. I was confused, and my mother, who was next to my grandmother, quickly helped her by giving her first aid. "She has seizures, don't you know?" "No." She didn't like to talk about it. Only I knew about it. I got so scared that I could suddenly lose her. We called an ambulance and they took her to the hospital for a checkup. I spent 12 hours there. Grandma was sound asleep, and then Mom told me to go home and get some rest. "I'll stay with her. You go home." "Mom, thanks for your help. I couldn't have done it without you." Mom hugged me, and there was hope that things could change for the better. I hugged her back, and Mom sent me off with her friend, who drove me home. I took a shower and went to bed, but in the middle of the night, I woke up to my mom kicking me hard. Zoe, get up. Grandma got worse. God, Mom, what happened?" She couldn't stop crying, and then she finally said that Grandma needed an emergency liver transplant. Her liver was failing. Without thinking clearly, I got into the car with a friend of my mother's, and they took me to the hospital. "Mom, what kind of hospital is this? Was Grandma transferred to a new one?" "Sorry, Zoe. I had to." And she injected something into my neck. I woke up after I don't know how long. Abby and her mom were sitting next to me. They were so excited when I woke up. I couldn't understand where I was, what was wrong with me, and why I was in so much pain. Abby cried, noticing my open eyes, then told me something that made me feel even worse. "Your mom, she turned out to be a cheater. You had one kidney cut out. She stole it for herself because she had health problems and needed a donor. Thank God we found you in time. She managed to escape with her accomplices." "What? But how? And Grandma? There's nothing wrong with her. She doesn't and hasn't ever had an epileptic seizure. That was just needed to throw you off. She's fine. She's at the police, filing a report on your mother. But it turns out that's not all. I had a heart attack during my kidney transplant. I had to have another emergency surgery and put a stent in one of my heart vessels. And as a result, I have 2 metal organs in my body and a huge wound in my soul. Abby still apologizes to me for a long time, but I don't blame her. After all, it wasn't her fault that I had such a bad mother. So how's my life now? It's okay, getting used to what I have. Life with one kidney is not so good, but the search for my mother is underway. I don't know what I will do when they find her, but if possible, I will return what is mine. Do you think that's the right thing to do? Write your opinion about it in the comments below the video. Don't forget to like it, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.